An SDA member by the name of Dario 2096 has put up a video where he is trying to refute a video I put up about Ellen White and her prediction that England would attack the United States of America during the Civil War. And he made a statement here that you'll see here. Bengali is forgetting about conditional prophecy. No, Dario 2096, I'm not forgetting about conditional prophecy. That's how I knew that Ellen White's prophecy was a false prophecy, because she didn't put any conditions on that prophecy. She just said it would happen. Now what you're doing, Darius, is going back and using an old argument brought up by F.D. Nicholas in 1951 that has been used by Seventh-day Adventists as far as I know since 1951. It may have been used before that. And the first I found out about it was from F.D. Nicholas when he tried to show the same thing you're showing, and apparently Seventh-day Adventists have been trying to cover this false prophecy of Ellen White since then, and they all do the same thing. And one of the things he goes back and talks about is Jonah, and Jonah in chapter 3 verse 4 says something like 40 days and Nineveh will perish, and it is a conditional prophecy. Even though the prophecy is, the conditions are not stated there, if you read elsewhere in the Bible where God talks about bringing disaster upon a nation, he said, at any time I bring disaster upon a nation, and that nation repents or relents and turns back to me, then I will not bring that disaster on that nation. And we know that none of them then met those conditions because they did repent. That was the conditional prophecy there, even though it's not stated in the text. You have to find it in other places in the Bible. But they want to go back now and use this Jonah thing and the argument of F.D. Nicholas of 1951 in an effort to cover the false prophecy of Ellen White. And let me show you how Darius goes about doing this, which normally when Darius makes a video trying to debunk mine, he goes from bad to worse. I've already debunked several of his videos dealing with the Pope, and he tried to come back with another video and just goes from bad to worse in the Latin language. And this is no exception here. Rather than clearing anything up, he's just gone from bad to worse. And let me show you what I'm talking about now. Darius tries to take this and claim it's a conditional prophecy here, where Ellen White says she fears if she would commence war abroad that she would be weak at home. Then he tried to use the statement, but if England thinks it will pay. Now he's just using the word if. There's no conditions there, Darius, none whatsoever. Where's the if not here? God's conditional prophecy is if you do this, then I will do this. All you're doing is picking the word if here and trying to deceive people into thinking that it's conditional prophecy. All she is saying is if England should commence war, that they would be weak at home. But if England thinks it will pay, where's the if not there, Darius? That's prophecy. If you do this, then I will do that. If not. There's no conditions there. Where are the conditions? You didn't set forth any conditions. You're just trying to use the same argument used by F.D. Nicholas in 1951 that failed then and is failing now. And then you go on to say there, the following sentence, when England does declare war, then you say it is evident that Miss White here is using when as synonymous with if. No, it's not evident. It's only evident to you. When is not synonymous with if. Has nothing to do with if. There are words that are synonymous with if, though, like, for instance, howbeit, immediately upon, just after, just as, meanwhile, whereas, or while. But if is not synonymous with when, and when is not synonymous with if. It is the same argument that F.D. Nicholas used that failed and is failing now. You know, it's just like the Bible. You just go find a word and think that covers all bases. There is no conditions here. She's not saying here if she would commence war abroad that she would be weak at home. But if she's strong at home, then she can do it. That would have been a condition there. You see what I'm talking about, viewer? There's no conditions in here whatsoever. You just picked out the word if, Dario. Like, oh yeah, look here, here's the word if. You know, we'll make this a condition. And that's all you've done is gone from bad to worse and trying to explain it like this. You know, there are people who know English language, Dario. There are people who know how to interpret conditional prophecy. You have no conditional prophecy in here whatsoever. There's no conditions based on it. None whatsoever. Conditional prophecy is valid, but not in the case you're talking about. And besides that, Helen White wasn't a prophet to start with. There are no prophets today as they are in the biblical times. They're not around. Helen White was a false prophet from the first day she opened her mouth. And you're trying to take it and deceive people, which is very non-Christian to me. To try to deceive people into believing this. Like there's conditions here when there's not. It's very clear from this verse that there's no conditions here whatsoever. All she is saying is she fears if she would commence abroad, that she would be weak at home. That's all it is. There's no conditions there. Where's the conditions there, Dario? Where are the conditions? And then this thing about if being synonymous with when, and when being synonymous with if. They're not synonymous at all. This is just the typical SDA deceptions that they use. Pick a word, try to make it fit, and just deceive enough people into believing a lie that so the SDA can continue protecting the false prophecies of Ellen White. So I appreciate your effort in trying, but as I say, you went from bad to worse. Simple as that, you went from bad to worse. You showed no conditions whatsoever. You just picked the word if out and said, oh yeah, here it is, here's a word if. You know, it must be conditional. Same argument used by F.T. Nicholas in 1951. It failed then, and it fails now. But I thank you for your effort anyway. Until next time, this has been Golly saying, God bless. Excuse me, there's one thing I need to put in before I close this video. Dario, Jonah's vision, or Jonah's prophecy, is canonical. It's in the Bible. It came from God. Ellen White's false prophecy is not canonical. I don't know where it comes from, but it is not canonical. It's her own private visions. And this is another one of her private visions that has failed. Now, thank you, and God bless.